It's the Boom Bap Hour.
You already know what time it is, man. It's the Boom Bap Hour. It's another day, another dollar. We up in the building.
What's up, y'all?
Yeah. Oh, man, we got a special guest up in here.
Yes, very, very special on this beautiful Saturday. We are so blessed that they chose to come here and join us today. We have Daryl Brown.
Okay.
Son of the legendary, I mean, really, needs no introduction, James Brown, Godfather of Soul.
Gets no better than that. Gets no better than
And we
that.
are so blessed to have him here today on our podcast, and his beautiful wife, Angela Brown, as well.
Angela.
Just don't ask me to do the mashed potatoes. That's all.
Hey, listen.
I don't mash.
You don't mash the potatoes.
I don't do the taters.
You don't do the taters. You ain't do the taters. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
that's what's up, man.
So we're so
Word.
excited to have you here today, and definitely just really, of course, this being, James Brown's home, the Godfather of Soul, definitely everywhere you look around the city of Augusta, you see a symbol of James Brown. So we all are able to see him, and remember him as far as of course, in the spotlight, and, definitely just the impact he made on music, and especially hip hop, 50 years of hip hop, he is hip hop, you know what I mean?
Right, no doubt.
It was definitely, but we definitely get a chance to, just get to know him behind the scenes, and, just see what he was like. And there's no one else better to tell that story but you.
Oh, I'll do my best.
You do your best.
I do my
Yeah.
best. She also was my boss, so
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
yeah. So,
Pay the cost to be the boss, no doubt.
There you go.
Word.
So, what would you say? I mean, you got a chance to, really be close to your dad. Like, what was it like growing up and having James Brown as dad?
he was strict, man. He was very strict. I didn't talk very much
Okay.
because he did all the talking. So that's how it was. It was just an environment. I was so young. So I was always looking and observing everything that was going on. So, how it was just one of those things, man. You just can't explain.
Right.
He was a hard, because I was scared of my father. I was scared of him. I was
Who
literally.
wasn't? Who wasn't? You had to have a healthy amount of fear of your parents.
Yeah,
Right.
Really, that's called respect.
yeah.
That's all.
Definitely.
But that's what
Respect.
it was. It was basically all respect, out of everything. And we when I started really traveling with him and going on the road, it was just strange. It was just a strange environment to me, because I'm from New Jersey.
Okay. How was it growing up in New Jersey?
It was. It was what it was.
It was what it was, right?
What city in Jersey?
In New Brunswick.
Okay, New Brunswick.
Okay.
That's
All
North
right.
Jersey or South Jersey?
Actually, it was right in the middle.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
All right.
So, I mean, but it was like, it wasn't. I was never really aware of who I was when it came to James Brown. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Right.
It was my family that was around me always kept reminding me, but me myself, I was really scared of my father.
He said that.
I was. No, I
really
was scared of him.
You really was, because you said
Because
that.
he was strict, and he was always, but it was music all the time. It was music all the time, business all the time. Even when he's talking to you, that's business.
Right.
So I can remember the good times, fun times, though. I can remember that because that was when everything kind of relaxed. But not too long right after it relaxed, it get right back to James Brown.
So he just switched it on and off.
Yeah,
huh?
it was right back to James Brown, So, but it was a great experience for me. You know,
Right.
I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. You know.
So having so much of a influence like that in your life, how would you say that growing up with him, as far as like all of the ethics and principles that he had, and strictness, and the business acumen and everything, how do you feel like that impacted you in your life?
Well, in the sense, I'm like that with my children.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, I'm like that with my own kids. You know, I try
Trickle
not
down.
to be because I catch myself, but I'm like that with them. You know, James Brown comes out.
Okay.
You know, it comes out. You know, somehow or another. You know, because that's all I basically know.
Right.
You know, so
Wow.
yeah.
And with
Wow.
them, so you just treat them the same. It just trickled on down.
It's just trickle on down,
Right.
basically. You know, and that's how that's how it goes.
Right. Basically, yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah. See what your father do. You just
Yeah.
imitate it almost. Yep.
yeah.
No doubt. Word.
So at what point? So you started music early. What was it, like age? Was it 5?
About 5 years old.
5 years
5?
old.
Oh
Okay.
man.
About five
Okay.
years
Wow.
old. I started playing drums when I was about 4. When I started really playing, drums.
Okay.
You know, and I used to beat on the couch because I wore the couch out. My mother always brought me sticks home, but I wore the couch. It was just totally tore up. And she'd just buy another couch, But the encouragement was always there to play. You know,
Okay.
I didn't realize who I was until later, into who my father was and all that stuff like that. That came later, but it was a great experience, man. I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. Matter of fact, I miss it.
And I find that very interesting too. That like you said, that you didn't find out who your father was, like, or I'm not gonna say find out who your father was, but basically like the magnitude of who he was didn't really hit you until later. But early, you still found yourself intrinsically following this musical path. You know what I mean? That it was just like ingrained in you. So I mean, I
Well, yeah,
just think that's
definitely.
awesome.
Yeah, it was. It was really just still in me. But that's when I found out where I got it from, where it came from.
Okay.
When I started traveling with my father and doing things as I got younger, I found out where it came from.
Okay.
Why I do the things I do.
Wow.
So,
Wow,
yeah.
that's awesome. And when did you actually start like traveling and like touring with your father? Like, at what point did you start doing that?
I'm trying to think what age that was.
Well, like,
9.
you mean playing with?
Or well,
no, just
actually,
oh,
no, not necessarily just playing, but just really
It was
traveling.
9 years,
Yeah.
About 9 years old.
You was 9?
Wow.
Oh wow.
Because I had moved down here and I went to a private school called the Mill School in Florida.
Okay.
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 Down
my
here?
brother Teddy and Terry and all that.
Okay.
We went to school down here.
Mm. Oh wow.
So that's when I started really, you know. But I'm from New Jersey, so.
So it was an interesting transition
It was
from north to south,
yeah.
right?
Right.
There was the other private school that he also went to was in Florida.
Yeah. The
Okay.
Mill School.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was it in Florida
It was okay.
for you coming
I mean,
from Jersey?
It was, when I first got there, I remember my mother brought me. And when I first got there, I was so happy because I was going to be swimming and everything. And as soon as she left, I got homesick. So all
Wow.
that went away. As soon as she left, and but I mean, it was interesting, man. I mean, I learned a lot. I think about the things that I know now. That came from that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And isn't it like it kind of gets even more beautiful like the older that you get, and then like you look back at some of the
Yeah,
things
definitely.
that
Yeah.
kind of
It-
has
it-
more little revelation
It
to
all
you
comes
now.
start clear to me. Mm-hmm. It's more so, because how I am with my children.
Right.
That's how clear it is now. I see why my father was like that with me. Because he was a great father. He was, a great teacher. you know, and I used to be scared of my father. I mean,
Man, you
literally
said that.
scared of him,
You
man.
really was. You really was scared of your father, man. Because you done said that like 5,
He's like,
6,
scared
7,
of
8 times.
James Brown was a
He
taskmaster.
was really
I'm trying
so
to
so
tell you, man.
so. Just as he was with his music, he was with his children, huh?
Same way.
With
Say
with
that
his
again?
family. Just as he was with his music, he was with
The same way.
the same way, huh?
He was the same. James Brown was the same all the time.
He ain't never
Nothing
changed.
changed. All the time.
All right, I got a question.
Everything was business.
Did you guys have to call him Mr. Brown, or did you get to call him Daddy?
Well, if I'm referring something like to you,
Right.
I would say Mr. Brown wants to,
Okay, gotcha.
you know, that way.
Okay.
You know, but it was Dad. You know, all the time. But I'm saying if I'm talking to you and I have to go get you for something, Mr. Brown wants you to.
Okay.
That's how it was.
I
You know.
heard that was like a big thing with him. Where
Yeah,
everybody
man.
Had to call
You
him
had
Mr.
to-
Brown.
I had to
Yeah.
call him Mr. Brown. Well, that's what's up, man.
Wow.
Word.
So, what do you feel like, if you could say, said or unsaid, because sometimes we learn things by them telling us, and sometimes we learn things by just watching. So, what would you say the biggest lesson, or I would even go as far to say advice, if you did say that you feel like that you gained from your father? What was like some of the biggest lessons you feel like to stay with you to this day?
Being a man.
Okay.
You know, standing up for what I believe in. You know, and that's what I learned from him. You know, and don't let nobody change whatever you be your own man. He stressed that a lot. You know, and that's what I got from him.
Okay.
You know, whatever you do, son. You know, this is your show. This is your life. You know, you be your own man. Not my man, but your own man.
Okay.
You know, and that's what I learned from my father. That's why I take away what I think about him all the time. I think about that all the time. You know, that he was a man. He was a man's man.
A man before anything. That's what's up.
When you think of where he came from, he had all things against him, everything, and he made it, man. He made it happen. Because, and he's funny, he said, son, I never wanted to be this famous. I said, well, I can't tell. I can't tell, because your drive is just so great. You're the only person I ever seen with drive like that, and that's how he was, But when he said that, he said, son, I never wanted to be this famous. What? I don't believe you,
It's like you wear it well.
When you're talking to my father, you're saying, but Dad, listen, no disrespect, but I don't believe that.
I mean,
And he laughed.
super famous.
Yeah. I don't believe he was. I believe you had this was a God's gift that he will put here for this.
And then when I think about you think about how, like you said, he had all the odds against him, and for him to, because sometimes when you find success, you don't know how you're gonna find it.
No.
You just are just going day by day until it's just meant to be, and it just comes that way, or God just ordains it to be, it presents it in front of you. So it's like to think about how it is now versus how it is then. And just for him to overcome all of those obstacles, especially just against black people in general, just, to even be able to get through all of those obstacles and be able to, push through all of that, it's just amazing.
It is amazing because I don't know if I could have did all that. It's God's, it's God. It's a gift that he had. It's something he had to do. You know what I mean? That was James Brown. That was just something that he had to do. He was driven every day he got up in the morning. Constantly. When you had a good time, when you laughed with him, you treasured that. Because that didn't come very often. It was all seriousness. Constantly.
As soon as you wake up.
Seriousness, and you see why he had what he had. Because that's how you had to be.
So what was his routine like when he was getting up in the morning? Like,
Get his hair done.
I figured it.
So I'm gonna look
That
good
was
if
first. He
anything.
gotta
That's
look
number
good,
one, right?
Yeah, he got to look good. You know,
Yeah, the
get his
first
hair
thing he
done,
do is
you know,
mess with the
in
hair.
morning. That was the routine. You know, and see, he had people doing his hair.
Okay.
See, you know, that's why I never got a whatever that type of hair. I had to comb my own. But he had people help doing his hair, help him put his shoes on, folding his socks. You had a certain way you had to fold his socks, and you had to fold them, and so they just put them right on. You know,
So, oh wow, hold on, wait a minute now. You said it was a certain way
A
his
certain
socks
way.
had to be folded
had
to put
be
them
folded.
on,
Yeah,
so he could just put them right on.
yeah, because he's just sitting there, and they doing everything.
Hold on, they putting on his socks.
Yes,
They dressing them.
Oh,
Brother Brown was
Like
a
Prince
great
Hakeem.
like
Right, that's the first thing I thought of.
And he was on the phone.
They bathing him
Talking.
too. He had the
He got the
women.
rose petals in
Made
it.
rose
He
petals
said,
and
"Son,
everything."
Every day I wake up is business. I'm talking to you, it's business.
Ah,
You know, and that's how he was. You know, because he
Wow.
was on the phone and everything, and they putting his socks on and everything. You know what I'm saying? That's how he was. But he paid them cats too. You know, you know they took care of James Brown.
they took care of
Because they
him.
meant, you know, they meant so much to him. You know, they know they had to take care of him for them to eat.
Yeah, because if you don't do what you do, you don't eat.
You know,
You don't work, you don't eat.
he made a song like that. You know that,
Yeah,
right?
he did. He did. You don't work, you don't eat.
Speaking of eating, tell him the story about how your father, when you guys were in different foreign countries and it was time to eat dinner. Everybody's at the big mafia table, sitting and how it was when it came to ordering the food.
Well, I as I got older, I learned not to be that. But anyway, everybody used to order what he ordered.
Okay, what he like to eat?
Whatever that was, it was all kind of stuff, man. It was, I mean, now that I think back, it was, it could have been chicken, steak, and he liked chicken wings. So
Chicken wings.
So if you didn't like chicken wings, you had to eat it because that's what he basically ordered.
Yeah,
Whatever he
everybody,
ate.
It's
whatever
after
he
my own
ordered,
heart.
everybody had to
Love some
order-
chicken wings. There you go.
Hold on, wait a minute. So everybody had to
Yeah, everybody.
You don't
Yeah.
eat these chicken wings
eat
today.
these chicken wings.
Because
Everybody.
he'll ask
Hey,
you,
so he eats
he said, well, why did you get that? Why you didn't get this? He ran everything from top to bottom. Man.
Wow.
Wow,
Everything.
he did not play.
No, he didn't play. He did not play, man.
You said he was
and that's why, he was James Brown. That's
Yeah, you're right.
There's only one in the world. There will only be there will be another. A Ned, no, that's how you say it. Another.
Nah, never.
And another.
I don't think so. Not like that.
Yeah, man.
He's
You
one
know.
of a kind.
One of one.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't, it's
And
very
now you know why
amazing.
God put him here.
Yeah.
He had a job to do.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even know a lot of things. He just said, son, I don't know. I get up in the morning, I react. I just go. And that's the way it was. I mean, there were a lot of good times. We had a lot of fun times too.
Right.
But it was strict. It was always, it was, the fun didn't last. You cherished all the fun times. It didn't last long, but you cherished them.
Yeah. What he like to do for fun?
Whatever it was he wanted to do that day, I guess.
I can see
You know what I'm saying? It was about James Brown, man.
It was all just, it really was about him.
It was about James.
everything. He
Brown.
said, it's all about me.
Was he
Everything.
into sports at all?
Yeah, I mean, you tell him because he played all the sports, so you ask him. No, I mean he know about all of it.
Okay.
He
You know.
was a boxer. He did the boxing.
Well, he did that when he was younger. He was a boxer.
Okay.
We saw that in the movie. You
Yeah.
did say that in the movie that he was.
Now,
a
how
boxer.
accurate was this movie?
Yeah,
How
you would
accurate was
definitely
it?
let us know.
Now, how you
it
say you
wasn't-
shaking your head over there?
Yeah, it wasn't.
What you say over there?
I love the movie. I love Chadwick. I mean, I do love the movie, but he's It's all wrong. There's a lot of stuff.
It's wrong.
Okay, so
Wow.
tell us what was wrong about it that we should know.
I'm trying to think. Well, ask me a question about what.
Well,
what I've
okay.
seen.
What about about him going to the house of prayer and all that, and learning from the house of prayer, the church, and all that.
I mean, he went to church, but I mean, what do you mean by him going to the
Well,
house? of
well,
prayer?
well.
I mean,
They showed what they showed him
Yeah, they showed him
in
like
the
he
beginning.
went.
Seeing Daddy Grace in the beginning.
The scene of the guy was
Yeah.
Yeah, and he fell to the
became-
floor and
like,
all
he
of
was-
Right,
that.
I
didn't
was
watch
saying
too
that
much
that's
of the
where he
movie,
got
yeah,
his
'cause
cape
it wasn't-
idea
it wasn't
from.
true to me.
Okay.
I didn't watch. So you're actually telling me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
seen the whole. He didn't want,
No, I didn't want to see
Personally,
it
he was
because
like,
I knew it was a
nope.
lie. It wasn't. It
I
wasn't.
said off the rip. He said
That it wasn't the truth.
Yeah, they left out Uncle Danny. Danny wasn't in it.
Danny Ray,
Danny Ray.
the MC,
Danny Ray.
you know, all kind of stuff. They left a lot of stuff out y'all missed, man.
Wow.
They
left
tried to
him
make
out.
it. They tried to make it. They were just trying to sell. It was the truth. That movie was not the truth. It was false. Everything
fabricated.
It was so. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word.
Fabricated. Okay. Made for Hollywood.
Yeah, well, exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
Because they just had his one brother Teddy, the one that passed away at 17.
Right.
But it was also Terry. And there's
Exactly.
Also Daryl. Then it jumped into the two daughters, and it was like, what happened with the other brothers? That was a part of.
So when they came together to do the movie, did they? I mean, just like consult, like, they didn't consult everyone, or what was?
Console. They console nobody.
They just did what
They
they
just
wanted
did
to
it.
do. Wow.
Wow, they
I
just
found that to be
went
the
in.
case with a lot of stuff, and a lot of
That
families
makes
come
sense.
back and say that, like, we have
movie was
anything to do
so
with
untrue.
this.
Y'all missed, man. Let me tell you something. If you went paid to see it, I'm sorry.
Oh man.
I'm sorry. I'm really
We
sorry.
got to get our money back, B.
We got to, because we did.
We gotta go
I'm
with
really no, seriously. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you paid for that.
But Chadwick is a great actor.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
Take nothing
shout
from
to-
him. No,
shout
don't
to
take
Chad.
no.
Yeah,
Listen,
he
not-
did his
not from
thing.
Chadwick or whatever, but I like Chadwick and what's the other movie?
Black
Black
Panther.
Panther?
But yeah, I'd rather that because that didn't do him no justice.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Like the scene at the beginning, Daryl saw that little part when he went to the office in Augusta and shot the gun up.
Yeah.
That wasn't
That
true.
ain't happen.
He's like, no. And the lady was smoking weed or whatever in the
Right.
bathroom and all of that. Daryl's like, no. He was like that. He was like, what? What is this movie? He's like, what is this you watching?
I didn't watch it.
And I was like,
After
to get
that,
on-
you was like,
I
nah.
said to get on up movie, and he got on up and
Yeah, I got up.
He said to
Get
get
on
on
up.
up. He got on up.
I sat
I
and
go
watched the whole
outside.
thing because
Yeah,
I
I
like
wouldn't watch it
He was
because it wasn't the truth.
I was just basically telling
Wow.
him
It was not the
what was
truth.
happening, what was seeing.
No.
He was
Wow.
like, I don't want to hear it.
That's crazy, man. That's sad how they do it, but Hollywood.
Yeah, that's
That was
Hollywood for you.
Yeah,
That's
that was all
Hollywood
that
for
was.
you. They try to get it
know.
get it in and get it out.
Because they really told the truth. Black people would have learned a lot.
Right.
Would have learned from that. What did you learn from that movie? Nothing. You didn't
Okay.
learn anything from it.
Right.
Right. You ain't learned much at all.
Exactly. Who the man was, who he is, what he did.
Yeah, I think they needed longer than a
Yeah.
movie.
Then 2 hours to
you
just,
need-
sum that
Right.
up.
You need 6 hours.
Yeah, you need a whole
A double.
like Roots how that was.
Yeah.
Like
Right,
it
a
was all
miniseries.
week. Right, yeah.
Something.
This is where it comes in the part
That would have
with
been
Daryl
dope,
and
like
his
like
business
New
partner,
Edition.
the miniseries that they're working on.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Now, do you want me to bring anybody into this conversation?
Yes,
or do
Ken Burns.
Yes?
Yes.
Oh, okay. let me go ahead and do that here. And let me call up Ken. He gonna know who I am.
Yeah,
He'll be like, who is this?
You
calling
call
me?
up people.
Now, hold on. All right, here we go. I'm put him on speaker so he
gotta
will
put
be
it next to the
loud
mic.
and clear. All
Put
right.
it to the mic.
664.
He'll probably be like, oh, who is this?
You heard it here first, live and direct.
He
this is Ken.
Hi, Ken. This is Ruby V with the Boom Bap Hour podcast, and I'm sitting here with Daryl and Angela Brown, and they wanted me to give you a call because we are discussing the project that you and Daryl are working on as far as James Brown. Is this a good time to talk?
Yeah, thank you for calling. I appreciate you.
Awesome. Okay. Well, just basically, let us know exactly like what you all are, working on right now.
So we've been working on this for a while. I remember I met Daryl back in like 2008. We were working on some projects then. He would come in the studio, get on his guitar, and so it was sort of like the filmmakers would have the studio during the day and the musicians would have it at night. So it was a really cool interaction and just meeting him. So in 2016, right after Get On Up came out, the movie about his father, James Brown, they had called us, and it was our business partner, Tony, Daryl. They had called me on the phone, and they was like, you know what? The movie was cool and everything, but I want to do something. I want to do something honoring my father. And he started talking to me. He knew I was a writer, and he was like, let's come up with some ideas. And so if you guys have probably already realized that Daryl's written a book called My Father, the Godfather. And in this book, he details his personal relationship with James Brown, his father. And what I did is I took the concept of the book and I said, well, hey, let's write it as if you're telling us a story, as if it's sort of like a fireside chat. And we're listening to Daryl Brown tell us his father's story on a more personal level, and maybe we can get a little bit more detail. We all know the highlights. We know who James Brown is. We know everything from the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. But do we know the intimate details of his life? And that's something that we decided that if anyone's going to tell that part of the story, is going to be Daryl Brown telling it. And so that's what we're working on. That's what we're working on getting produced at the moment.
Wow, that sounds really awesome. Yeah, we just was talking about the movie and how there were some things that were left out, and he really wanted to just tell like the actual full story of his father, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the real truth.
Yeah, get the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
That's true, right.
Yes, definitely. And when can we look forward to this coming to fruition?
Well, like I said, we've been working on it for quite a long time. So the stages that we're at now, we've already got some of the scripts written, and so we're looking for an investor. We've kind of got some chicken in the pan, if you will, frying already. So we're waiting on some things to happen with one investor that we're dealing with, and we're trying to get a sizzle reel produced. The sizzle reel, I don't want to go into too much detail because it's a bit of a secret, but it is a sort of a story that's sort of a precursor to how Daryl was born.
Oh, wow.
And so the sizzle reel is going to be about 5 to 7 minutes long, and it details it details how he was born, how he came to be. It's sort of about his mom and some stuff with James Brown and Joe Tex. I won't go any further than that. And we're trying to get that produced, and then once we get that produced, it's kind of like a live pitch that we can take to a distributor like a Netflix or an Amazon Prime, and then we can look to get the full feature miniseries done. So just to go into a little bit more detail, we're not doing a movie. We're doing a miniseries. So it's going to be sort of like an episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 that showcases each stage of James Brown's life with Daryl Brown narrating and telling us the story of it.
Oh, that's amazing. And we were just saying that we felt like, his story needs more than just a 2-hour movie.
Of course, 100% I agree. There's just so many things. Like, I'll give away one detail. Like, a lot of people don't understand that James Brown, when he was born, he kind of died. I won't say died. It's a little too strong. But he had sort of like a caul, and a caul is like a veil over his face. So it was like he could have suffocated. He could have passed away, and we would never known who he was. And a lot of stories that detail his life don't really tell a little detail like that, and how they had to remove the call from him, and that veil was sort of like a premonition. You know, it was like he was somebody that was going to be special, and he turned out to be special. And these are things that our story is going to tell that a lot of stories about him did not tell.
Wow. Yes, and exactly, because we've never heard that fact from any other source. So that's really gonna. I'm excited, just to see even more of what you guys have in store for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hopefully, we can get things progressing within the next year. So.
Absolutely. Well, Daryl, do you have anything else that you would like to add on
No,
that?
he said it all.
He said it all right there.
We've been working on
Mouthful.
this for a while now.
Yeah.
And that's been the main thing. He's telling everything so accurate. So it's like I'm just sitting back listening myself.
Yes. Well, we definitely, look forward on the development of this project. And, of course, I think it's going to be awesome, when you guys present it to, any of the streaming media outlets. And I think I know I would want to see it. So I'm convinced you sold me.
Yeah, the whole truth. So help me God.
They're turned out really well. So I think people will enjoy it for sure.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, is there anything else, last remarks that you would like to add, Ken?
I guess, just one last thing on the project, James Brown knew a plethora of, I guess, other legends like Aretha Franklin and, Tammy Terrell, and like he knew so many people. Michael Jackson, he was Michael Jackson's biggest inspiration. So he knew all of these people even when they were young and startups. And one thing that we are going to sort of do in our telling of the story is you will see cameos of these people. Like you will see a cameo of Otis Redding. You will see a cameo of Aretha Franklin and Michael Jackson and Prince. You will see these things in the miniseries. So it's a little thing that's a little nugget that we think would be pretty exciting to people.
Wow, that sounds really exciting. Well, definitely listen. we are going to be, following you guys as you guys go along and create this wonderful project. So, we definitely will be, here to promote anything you guys have coming out, and just let us know all of the timelines of when it's supposed to come out and premiere, when we can be expecting it. Okay.
You got it. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much today for your time, Ken. You have a wonderful day. Thank you.
You got it. See you guys.
All right. Bye-bye. Well, that was wonderful.
Setting the record straight, huh?
I can't wait for that to come out.
Yeah, this is like the real
right?
story,
Got the
right?
whole story
I knew
in there.
Ken. He told the whole thing. That's what we're working on. We want for the truth, the whole truth, so nothing but the truth. So
help you God.
That's what's up then, man.
Okay, Ken mentioned a funny story because I watched the show on, I believe it was Cinemax. They had a show called Tales from the Tour Bus.
Oh, yeah.
Different experiences that artists had on tour. So James Brown, of course, had an episode, and they were talking about that Joe Tex story about how I think Joe Tex made a song about.
Yeah, well, that was my mother.
Oh, really? Okay.
That was my mother.
Really?
Yeah.
That was your mother?
That was your mom? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Joe Tex was his stepfather.
Wow.
Well, he wasn't. I mean, that was my mother's.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I mean? He wasn't. They never were married.
So did they really
weren't
get into
married.
it like that? Like James Brown and Joe Tex? Because I think they said Joe Tex made a song and put it on the air and was telling James,
you keep her.
Right.
Yeah.
He told you
But
keep
that's how
her.
that's how it is today with
Okay.
everything. Everybody.
It's the same exact.
Things haven't changed much.
Ain't nothing changed much at all. Hey, you keep her.
Wow. That is something.
Proud of the truth.
So I know there's so many different stories on tour. Is
There's
there
so
anything
many.
else
If I
that
tell
you can
y'all
think of? A
all-
funny story or anything people don't know?
We'd be here for years.
Okay, just tell us one or two. We're
What? Hold
here
on.
for it.
Y'all went on David Letterman, right? You went on. Did you ever go on David Letterman with him, or
That was back in the early.
That was
80s.
the
At
early-
time, no, he wasn't.
No.
That was like the upper 90s.
upper
With
'90s?
him when he was in
Okay.
the Soul Generals.
Yeah.
So what stories you got of us? Yeah, like what you got?
Wow.
I got one. What-
Go ahead,
Okay, go ahead.
I would have to,
Go ahead.
What
the
television?
hospital one. No, I don't know if you want to talk about.
What hospital?
You said about your father. At late at night, he loves eating steak.
Oh, he a steak eater.
Man.
If you wanna, that's a.
No, you can tell it. Go ahead.
You're funny when
You can tell it.
Okay,
my mind.
okay. So Daryl had told me, his father late at night, like midnight, would want a T-bone steak, steak, potatoes, and stuff. And he used to tell his dad, you can't constantly keep eating that in the middle of the night like that. You're gonna clog up. You're gonna have some issues. And so they had to take him to the hospital to, get himself relieved or whatever.
Oh man.
Daryl was waiting outside. He said he was waiting outside, sitting in the
Yeah,
chair.
we were at the hospital because he had, he got clogged up. Man.
Okay.
Right.
Tried to warn him.
Yeah, we tried to tell him, but that's because he eats steaks at night, and you don't do that. You can't do that, and he had problems going to the bathroom.
Okay.
So,
That can
I
happen.
don't know if I should be telling y'all all
That,
that,
no,
but he had- but he
listen.
had
We all
problems-
family here.
we family here.
This is a safe space. Come on.
Okay, family. But he had problems going to the bathroom, and we was all sitting out there waiting for him, Then all of a sudden, I see my father come running out, and he came running out. You know how you at the emergency room or whatever, the hospital, not the emergency room, but it was at the hospital, and they were, and whatever they gave him to relieve him, it started working all of a sudden, and he had to. Oh man, he came flying out the room.
Oh, he had the
Rolled
bubble gut.
I mean, rolled everything.
Trying to hold
And
it
he went,
together.
he went to the bathroom and he came out. He said, "Man," he said, "Hey, that colonic worked good." He called it colonic.
That
And it
is
wasn't
colonic.
just
Colonic.
that was lip. That was taking. Because you ain't went to the bathroom. That's the problem. Eating steaks at night.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
wow.
Yeah.
That would happen to anybody. Eating steaks at night. You don't have your body don't digest at night.
No, it's
Not
not.
that
Especially
well.
no red meat like that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be hard
And so
to do.
and that's
Eating
what
that
he
red
was doing.
meat.
And so when he said, so everybody was so funny about that. He called it colonic, but it wasn't a colonic. He just said your ass got loose. They loosened all that shit up. Whatever they were doing to observe you or whatever, it loosened everything up.
Oh,
Oh
man.
my gosh.
You said
And
he
he
ordered
came.
everybody to get one in the band. He said he was telling everybody.
He not listen. I ain't never listened to him. As I got older,
said
when I was
he never
younger, I used to
listened.
be like that. But I ain't never listened to him. I eat that stuff at night like that.
Well, that's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
Because I knew better then.
Now, you were one thing that I didn't notice is when you were touring with him with the Soul Generals that you were with him when he got his Lifetime Achievement Award at the 2002 BET Awards, and guess who made an appearance at that? Infamous Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Tell us about
And
that.
see, the
How
thing
was
about
that
was,
experience?
I thought it was, it was weird because nobody knew he was coming.
Let me ask you something. When he came, did y'all have to turn y'all backs or something and not look? Because I heard he don't like looking in your faces
but
and
nothing
stuff
like that. We didn't know this was going to, they kept it a secret.
Oh, they kept it a secret. I ain't
He didn't
even
even
know.
So if you guys actually saw the clip, you actually see Daryl was actually in the front
Right.
playing, and at the end of it, that's when he came walking, and you see Daryl's face, like everybody, they eyes
Yeah,
got
that
big.
okay.
it was
Yeah,
like-
that's
I
you
thought-
still up
yeah,
there
I
thought it
looking
was
excited.
I'll tell you, I
Like,
thought it was
he's
a
right smack dab in the front.
yeah. I thought it was I thought it wasn't real because Michael don't look real anyway. You know what I mean?
Oh snap!
I thought it
Snap.
wasn't real. I was
He
like,
said
what
white
the
don't
hell?
look real.
Anyway.
You know,
He
but my
said
father
white.
didn't know that he was coming though. He didn't know.
Wow.
And that was a surprise.
How beautiful was that, though?
And because that was Reverend Sharpton put that together.
Okay.
Reverend Sharp. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Don't shout out to Reverend Sharp for doing
Reverend
that.
Al.
Reverend Al.
But he
There you
had put
go.
that together.
Now, Reverend Al Sharpton and James Brown, they was real close, huh?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, well, you
about
said that,
close.
yeah, kind of.
They were, I don't want to get into how they had a love-hate relationship in a sense.
Oh, okay. All right.
And that's
Yeah.
how my father got involved, because that's how my father met James Brown and was friends with him through Al Sharpton.
Okay.
Wow.
And then that's how I got to meet him when I was 3 years old in Brooklyn, because Al Sharpton had an office down there, and James Brown was there, and I actually, my dad took me, and I got to meet him going through the crowd. He picks me up, and he's bouncing me, and I still remember the smell, because I was like, man, Daryl, your dad smelled good. I was 3 years old, I was smelling. He said, oh, my dad was always having the colognes, and he was just
Aramis.
bouncing me up
Aramis,
and down.
okay.
And I'm looking at him, and he was telling my dad, oh, she's, he's like, pretty little girl, Johnny, she's a pretty little thing. Wow. Oh, what's her name? And my dad was like, Angela. He's like, oh, Angela, this pretty little girl. And all of a sudden, I'm staring at him, and I'm looking at his hair. And I was like, man, he's got curly hair like my mom. And I, 3 years old, you touching on people and stuff. So I raised my hand. I was about to put my hand in his hair, and he quickly dropped me down
Put her down.
and tapped me like I was a puppy and said, oh, okay,
you don't
all
mess
right,
with the
and
head. You don't
I
mess
was
with the
like,
head.
why is he hit me in my head? I get home, my dad takes me home, and I'm like, Mommy, that man hit me in my head. My mom's like, what? He goes,
Wow.
no, he didn't. He was just she was about to touch his glory, his crown.
Oh,
That's
no.
what he told my mom. He was like, she
Oh,
couldn't touch-
no.
She can't touch him. I was like, so what? And he was like, so what? It's James Brown. And I was just like staring, like, what is going on? And ever since then, I would just laugh as I got older. It was like, you don't play with the hair. But
Don't
yeah,
play with the
Wow.
hair.
my fingers was like trickling, like I was about to just, I wanted to touch it. He
Yeah,
saw it.
right.
And he was like, boom. Threw around. pat me on the
Nah,
head.
it's not happening.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, one thing I know, James Brown don't play.
No.
That he don't play.
No.
But man, I tell you,
But as he got older in life, he let up a lot.
that's
As he got older.
good.
It usually happens as,
Because
you get older.
because he realized life is short, and all the things that he was so hung up on, it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not worth it.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of things James Brown missed because he was like that.
Mm.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Well, I know one thing. When I saw your bio and just like the pictures of when you were young and everything, you definitely were like his twin. You're like his twin. I'm serious. I'm like, oh my gosh, you look just like him. For seriously.
I just got my mother's color, but
That happens.
yeah,
Definitely.
Well, we do appreciate y'all for coming
I appreciate
on the
you.
Boom Bap
Yes.
Hour.
It's fun.
That's definitely love. Especially James Brown, dealing with his influence in hip hop and stuff. So we really do thank y'all
I
for
appreciate it.
showing up.
Yes, and as far as any projects you guys going on, like, do you have any social media, anything we can follow, something so that we know, when your miniseries come out, everything? Do you have anywhere we can find
You get first exclusive.
Okay.
I'll say right now.
He
All
has
right.
a page. I have to get it going back,
Okay.
updated. I do, well, like I said, I am his manager and wife, AC Productions and Management on Facebook. And then I do have my fan page. So what I can do is, give you some links, and you can follow it. And also, I love it here. I love you guys. I also
Thank you.
We love you
want
too.
to tell, everybody about the Boom Bap Hour.
Please.
And, and
Thank
have
you.
them follow you guys. And yeah, most definitely anything that, when it comes up, including my projects, I will be the first. I will call you guys before anybody, I promise.
All
Please
right,
do, and we will
thank you.
share it with everyone that
Well,
we
thank
have
you
on
so
our
much.
page. So thank you so much for coming. It was definitely a pleasure. Thank you so much for reaching out to us, and we are just so glad that you guys were able to, come and visit with us today.
All right.
All right, you already know what time it is. It's the Boom Bap Hour, baby, and we up out of here.
We out, y'all.
Peace.